Hello, everyone. This is Oscar Gomez, student of the master's program in pedagogical mediation in English teaching. As part of the aesthetics course, I would like to share with you today this campaign that deals with one of the major issues in education nationwide. I'm specifically referring to inequality and inclusion in education. So, first of all, I decided to start with the slogan on this campaign, which is education knows no boundaries. So later on this presentation, I will be talking a bit about how we can actually improve equality within education and also inclusion. So it is important to mention the first phrase that framed this digital campaign, which is together, let's pave the way for inclusive classrooms where every voice is heard, every perspective is valued, and every student feels empowered to thrive. So I will be actually explaining a little bit about this campaign from two different sides. First of all, how these issues can be better approached from a government support, and on the other hand, how we as mediators can help change this reality within our classroom. So even though it's problematic, it's very common all around the nation. I would like to draw special attention to the rural institutions from my region, and I'm specifically speaking about Urabá region, and even more specifically in Apartado municipality, which is a place where I live. And I have noticed, especially in rural areas, some of these issues which are very evidenced in there. So in this special case, I would like to raise my voice toward the local government, the institutions, to take actions to change this reality and provide students with a more dignified and meaningful learning experiences as they should. So this campaign is also an invitation to my fellow teachers to raise their voice and start working within their institutions and classrooms, implementing strategies that promote inclusion and access to high quality education. So, how can we actually make this possible or help minimize this problematic? So, on the first hand, let's going to focus on how the government can actually help us on this. First of all, it is important to notice that budget is one main factor that can help reduce or change this reality. Increasing the budget in this case for rural schools is necessary to improve the quality of infrastructure, as most of them are old and risk of falling apart, which is something very dangerous. If this issue is fixed, the whole community will feel safe and comfortable, and these scenarios will trigger more meaningful learning experiences as students will focus better on their studies. So, first of all, it's very important to improve on the funding, the money that the government should invest on schools. And in this same line, we know that by investing more, one of the things that they have to pay close attention to is infrastructure. As I mentioned earlier, many of the rural schools infrastructure is old and at risk of falling apart, which is actually something very serious. There is an extra issue that has to be taken into consideration, which is connectivity. So it is also paramount to invest on internet connectivity. As we all know, in today's world, the internet is like a big library where we can find lots of information. And this information is actually necessary to transform education and provide students with the opportunity to enjoy significant learning opportunities from an interconnected perspective. So this is an extra issue to take into considerations. Now let's go into the other side of the table and let's going to speak a little on how we as mediators can help this situation be better from our classrooms. So first of all, it's very important to know that within our classroom, it's our responsibilities to make it possible for its students to reflect upon their reality and strive and work for a better education. So even when in rural or urban schools we don't have good infrastructure, internet connectivity, or our institutions have generally been neglected by the government, we still have to work hard on it. And one of the first things that we have to do, our duty is to promote inclusive education where students find an opportunity to transform their lives and community frame and their respect and acceptance for the people around them. So in this sense, it is vital to promote a culture of respect and acceptance by emphasizing the importance of treating everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of differences in race, gender, ability, or background. There is also a lot we can do from our pedagogical practices, especially by using inclusive language and material. So this means that we should be mindful of the language and materials we use within the classroom to ensure that they are inclusive and that they represent all of the students as well as supporting the diverse learning and needs of all students. And last but not least, we can also help through collaboration. How? Well, we should promote collaboration within our classrooms. For instance, we can encourage teamwork. By this, we allow students to learn from and support each other. All in all, these actions can help us create a positive and empowering learning environment where every student has the opportunity to thrive and succeed. So, in conclusion, let's say that it doesn't matter if we don't have the willing or support from the government, we cannot stay quiet and stand. But in contrast, we have to raise our voice and start working within our classroom by implementing these kind of actions. So, thank you very much for listening to me. This is the campaign that I wanted to share with you all.